right, what is going on, FishAholic family, and welcome to New Brunswick. I am in New Brunswick, Canada right now for the first time ever, and I left Orlando, Florida this morning at 8 a.m., flew up to Montreal, then got on a connecting flight to New Brunswick, and I am super excited to be here. I've had my sights set on this area around the Miramichi River for the last like 2 or 3 years, but I've just never had the opportunity to get here. And I wanted to do a northern trip this summer, and generally I always would go back to where I'm from. For those of you that don't know, I'm originally from the New England, New York, New Jersey area. I lived in New Jersey most of my life and Montauk, New York, and there's some exceptional fishing around in those areas, but I was also looking for a change of pace with some more consistent year-round fishing, so therefore I packed my bags and loaded the boat and moved down to Stuart, Florida. But I was just itching to get up north this summer, typically like I always do, but instead of fishing some of my home waters, I wanted to just self-guide myself in an area that I've never been to before. So stay tuned. This is going to be an adventure for the next few days, and I really hope you all enjoy this series. Now let's go see if we can get some fish before it gets dark. So I got an Airbnb just up the hill from where I'm at right now, and I've got 2 dark matter travel spinning rods, maybe like a dozen or so different artificial lures between like soft plastics and hard plastics, and I only got everything moved into the Airbnb at around like 7:30, and then kind of settled down, had some food, and I was like, we got to try and get in a little bit of fishing with like the last like hour and a half of daylight still. And what's crazy is up here in New Brunswick right now in early June, the sun doesn't set till 9:20 p.m. and it probably won't get like dark until like at least like 9:45. So we're walking down to this point right there that could be good. The tide is coming in right now, and maybe there'll be a few striped bass hanging around. We got going on here? One of Walter White's dissolved bodies. No, empty. I think I'm gonna start out by tossing around this little dark matter FishAholic pulsar popper. We'll be real lucky if we could even get one fish here today on this spot. Tomorrow is really going to be the hardest day of all of our days probably, because I found 17 spots on Google Maps that I think could produce fish. They are either points or islands that are on the river or further out, kind of in like the Bay Area, and I'm gonna try and hit them all tomorrow, unless of course we find a couple spots that just have a bunch of fish on them. Then we'll probably stick to wherever we're getting the most activity. Sadly, the guy that owns the Airbnb that I'm staying at, Gary, he was saying that most of the spawning stripers are out of the river. Like, he said that there's probably a few hanging around, but once the spawn is over, a lot of them beeline it back out to the bay. So I'm still gonna hit a bunch of other river spots tomorrow, kind of like this one, and maybe further up river, just to try it and check it out. But if it's not good, we're definitely gonna go down. reliable Zara spook going out. Sometimes you need to use a spook type plug to really raise the fish to eat. Alright, well, our first attempt was a failure, but it still feels so great to finally fish this river, and I think the best is still yet to come, hopefully. And we're gonna go rest up because it's been a long day of traveling. I'm gonna get some food, and we're gonna wake up bright and early at the crack ass of dawn tomorrow, and hopefully if we fish from sun up to sundown, we can find a bite. Alright guys, it's the next morning. I'm super excited, and it's a really beautiful, like, mysterious morning with the thick fog, and it's a little after 5 a.m. right now, and sunrise is at like 5:28, and I don't know if you even know if we're going to be able to see the sunrise because of how foggy it is, but I'm heading out to like the furthest spot, closest to like the mouth of Miramichi Bay, and I figured we would start way out there first because some of the spots that are further upriver I'm anticipating to be better on an outgoing tide, and we've got like an incoming tide until like 10 a.m. So some of the spots closer to the mouth of the bay I think will have more current and maybe more fish that'll be actively feeding. So we've got like 20 minutes still left to go, and then we're going to be at our first spot. This is beautiful. I'm on Hay Island right now. I'm seeing some cormorants out there and a little bit of current, which is good. I'm almost all the way out on the end, and out that way is the peninsula that looks to possibly be the best area where maybe we'll find some hungry fish hanging out. This dark matter bonefish travel rod is the one I was using yesterday, which some of you guys may have seen me use in a lot of different traveling videos. And this is the SPS Redfish Plus dark matter travel spinning rod, and I haven't put this to use yet, so let's get it done today. All right, now this is beautiful. We made it to the end of the peninsula. Not a soul in sight. I think I have to start out with a spook because it's early. Not a whole lot of signs of life, except for some seagulls flying around. Sadly, there does not look to be a whole lot of current here right now. All right, not a whole lot happening here, but I'm still stoked to be here. And the whole point of this trip was to get on the hunt and explore some new waters, and we're doing that. So on to the next spot. All right, look, this looks good right along here. Let's try this little sluggo for a more finesse presentation. And I also have 20 or 25 pound fluoro on here, so a little bit lighter leader. And this water is gin clear, so maybe using some lighter stuff might help us. There's some nice current leading up to this bridge here. Oh my God, what kind of cast is that? There he is. Fish on. Oh my gosh. There he is. My first Canadian striped bass. Look at that little beauty. Oh, I gotta catch him twice now. All right, let's keep it going. Although it wasn't big, I'm just still super stoked that we got the skunk out of the way for the day and for this trip. Now I just gotta find out where some bigger ones are hanging out. Like ideally, I'd love to get one or two, like 30 plus inches. All right, I had one more small bite. So let me just try a smaller presentation to see if I can maybe nail one or two more here in the next like 10 minutes or so, and then we're gonna move. The sluggo that I was using is a 6-inch sluggo. And now I want to try this little Yozuri. We should get a fish on the first cast with this. There he is. This one feels a little bit bigger. Nope, he's just feisty. Really pretty. Probably never been caught before. All right, we left the bridge. I'm going to take a couple more casts on this point here. Maybe there'll be a couple bigger stripers off this point where it looks like the water is a little deeper and there's a nice rip going around it. That's a better fish. Oh yeah. There we go. My drag is kind of loose, but still a little better than what we've been catching. Oh, he's got followers too. There's like 3 or 4 following him around. I'm so pumped. We're slowly getting bigger. So since we got that third one down at that little sandy point, I'm just walking out to this rocky point now, because the water's even deeper over here, and I'm thinking, you know, maybe we'll find even some more bigger fish out towards this way. There's another one. Better quality too. He's like the second biggest probably. Whoa, take it easy. Take it easy. This guy's got a mouthful of treble hooks. All right, let's keep it going. 4 on the board. And I'm really loving this Dark Matter SPS Redfish Plus travel spinning rod. It'll be interesting to see how it handles some larger fish if we can find them. We need something like 2 to 3 times the size of the last 2 we caught, and like 4 to 5 times the size. Oh, there was one of the first 2 we got. Another. Woo! He's jumping. Number 5. That was a wild one. So it definitely seems like right off this rocky point, kind of at the mouth of this harbor here, seems to be where the highest concentration of fish are. I've had 3 bites here now in like the last 5 minutes. Caught the 2. There's another. Basically right at my feet. Number 6. All right, I'm gonna start working my way back to the rental car, and I really like the look of that far point, so I'm gonna try driving around this harbor to see if I have access to it. It looks like it might be like a park or something, or it could be private property. There's another. Woo! No, that one popped off. That was probably the biggest of the day. Or we had him foul hooked maybe. See, there's a hook on his, or there's a scale on the hook. Oh gosh, that one crushed it. Nice. Number 7. All right, 7 on the board. That's not bad. And it's still pretty early in the morning. But now let's go to our second spot. Crossed over the Skunk Breaker Bridge because that kind of got it started for us for today, and I saw that the point across the harbor there is open, it looks like, to the public. There's just like a road that goes to the very end of it, and there's no houses, or from what I could see on Google Maps, it doesn't look like private property. So we're gonna go check it out, and maybe we'll get a few more over there, and hopefully they'll be bigger. Let's fish. Wow, look at this cool little peninsula that cuts across the harbor. Let's give this like 20-30 minutes. It was a pretty cool crab just walking along the rocks down there. This little peninsula is really cool. We could fish either side and maybe expect to catch a couple more. Wow, there are zillions of little, I think, mama-chug minnows right along the edge of the sand here. Time to have a little lunch and enjoy the beauty of this place. That's hitting the spot right now. For breakfast, I just had a little PB&J, and on here I got some lettuce, tomato, cheddar cheese, and some barbecue chicken. Rotisserie chicken. And my fingers are crossed that, although we're approaching midday, that we'll still be able to find some hungry fish. So we're gonna keep moving west because I think that's gonna be our best option for some larger fish. And if we keep moving from spot to spot and not catching much, heck, we might even end up on the south end of Miramichi Bay. Right now we're on the north end, so who knows. But I'm down to fish as hard as we can and cover as much ground and as much water as possible. Check out this cool spot, guys. Another bridge with this inlet to this harbor, and the tide just started going out, it looks like, and it's moving pretty good. So I think there's definitely a chance for there to be some more stripers right here. I'm thinking there's definitely fish here, but I'm not getting any bites because out there in the middle of the channel, it looks like it's relatively deep, maybe like 5 to 10 feet. So maybe we got to throw on a swim bait to get down near the bottom. All right, I'm gonna try this little 4-inch dark matter FishAholic finback shad. And I'm threading it on a 1/2 ounce jig head. That might work. Oh, there was a good thump. Oh, there he is. Nice. He hit it twice, or maybe it was 2 separate fish. Nice. This might be the biggest of the day right here. That's definitely a solid like 18, maybe 20-inch fish. Stunning. There's another one. Number 9 for the day. Oh man, there's another one. This one's got some good weight to it, but he's got his head in that current, so it's hard to tell for sure. Not bad. Oh man, this one choked it. Oh, look at that chubby fish right there. Whoo! That is a butterball. See ya. Another one right in that same spot. Number 11. All right, let's take a couple more casts out to that other side where they're stacked up. Oh my gosh. And then I think we gotta move because we're just gonna keep whacking these little guys. I definitely want to try and find some larger fish, but this is just so fun. I haven't gotten on like a hot striper bite in some time, probably like about a year, or whenever I was last in Montauk. Another chubby one. I wish I had the fly rod. These guys would have been perfect for the fly. Again, this is the 4-inch FishAholic finback shad, available at J&H Tackle or some select Dick's Sporting Goods and darkmatter.com. Jeez, these stripers don't seem to be boat shy. Oh, quick release, number 13. At some point, there's probably got to be some 30-inch plus fish cruising through here. Probably at night. Or early in the morning. Or evening, maybe. So we might have to come back here later if we don't find any better action. There he is. God, there are so many over there. $14. Let's see if there's any fish out there away from the bridge. Oh, I just got another one. Oh no. This one's got some kind of problem with him. Comment down below if you know what is going on with this fish. Number 15. Another one. What is this? Is this a striper? No way. Look at the size of this thing. There's no way. Is this really a striper? No way. I think it's a baby sea run brook trout. I snagged a little sea run brook trout on the FishAholic finback shad. I'm sorry, buddy. Pretty cool. That's the first brook trout that I've caught in salt water ever. Oh, another bite. There he is. So crazy catching trout, brook trout next to stripers. That's a first. Bass number 16. Since we caught that trout, before we leave this spot, let's try throwing on a spinner. All right, I just moved to the other side real quick because I could see that there was this nice boulder and some other rocks out there. And from my experience for fishing for trout in streams, is that trout love to sit behind big boulders and sometimes in front of them. But I'm thinking if there's another brook trout here, they might be over here. Oh, there he is, fish on. Is that a striper or another trout? Nope, striper. Striper on the spinner. For a second I thought it was going to be a big trout. All right, let's roll out. I'm going to head further west and I'm going to try and find some bigger fish. All right guys, we're on the move again. that was a pretty cool little bite we got on, and I can't believe we got the trout still. And it must have tried to hit the swim bait, which is crazy that something that small tried to hit something pretty big in comparison to its size. And I might go back to that spot tomorrow because it was good, and maybe also go back to the second spot where we caught some fish earlier. But now we're gonna head about like 10 miles west, a little bit further, so we're getting closer to the mouth of the Miramichi River now, like where it kind of empties into the bay. And there's a spot that is like on a point near a cemetery, and there's another river that like should be flowing out with outgoing water right around that point, and we're gonna go see if I can access it. So stay tuned. Let's get a few more fish. This looks really good here. We've got a nice rip going around this point. The water's much murkier. And I'm starting out with the spook right now, but I'm not really sure if it's gonna work. Another skunk at this beautiful spot. I bet if it was an outgoing tide, which it is now, but early in the morning around first light, there would probably be some fish here. But since it seems like there isn't, or at least they're not biting, let's head up this river to the bridge. Oh, this looks really nice. There's some old bridge pilings, then this newer bridge. There's got to be some stripers here. Oh, just short of that piling. All right, nothing here. So what I think I'm gonna do is hop onto the other side of the Miramichi and maybe head to like the south end of the Miramichi Bay. So we'll be on the exact opposite of like where we started the day this morning, and we'll just keep on doing what we're doing. And I think by like 5:30, 6 p.m. after a full 10-12 hour day, I think we might call it. And, you know, unless I find something like really sweet, then maybe we'll fish until sunset. But let's keep it going, stay tuned, and hopefully the next spot we can catch some more fish. Now this looks like a very fishy spot. The current is moving through here. There's got to be a few striped bass hanging around. There's one. Fish on. I was about ready to leave, thinking we were gonna get skunked here. bad, but we gotta find a bigger one still. I'm gonna try taking off the shad real quick. I wanna try something larger right here because I'm thinking maybe if there's a bigger fish here, he'll eat like one of these 7-inch Magnum Zoom Super Flukes. So I'll be honest, I'm starting to burn myself out a little bit. I'm trying to power through. We shall see if I can keep going. I need like some better fish to motivate me a little more. Oh, it's got a bite right there. A small one. He followed it in right to the lip. Oh, another follower. Super micro though. Oh my gosh. How did that little guy even get a hold of this? That was like the smallest one of the day. He was almost the same length as that brook trout we caught. Let's try this little swim bait. There's one. Holy moly, look how tiny. Striper 19. He's got a cool pattern on him. All right, we're moving. Let's see where else we can find some fish. Awesome spot. Just not really what we're looking for. I mean, if we caught nothing else today, I would have been very happy because we had 2 bites, or well, if we count the one we got over by that bottleneck, then we got 3 bites in this area and caught the 2. I don't know where I'm gonna go next. Hopefully somewhere better. I'm thinking about going all the way out to the mouth of the Miramichi Bay, and we're getting really close to the end of the outgoing, so there might be some fish kind of staging there, waiting for any last little bit of bait to flush out of the bay. And then also they might wait for the beginning of the incoming and try to eat any bait that swims into the bay first. So that kind of sounds like a good game plan. I'll see you at that spot. Mile and a half or so of a walk to get out there. I gotta dig deep. I'm really kind of getting towards the end, and that's why this is definitely gonna be the last spot. And we're gonna give it like an hour out there max, and then we're gonna head back. Let's get it. All right, I made it out here, and I really like the look of that sandbar. I'm gonna see if I can walk out to it. Oh my gosh, first cast and I'm on. I did not see that happening. Bass number 20. Bigger water doesn't necessarily mean bigger fish, but that's why I'm here. I'm hoping that's all I can do. But to get one on the first cast like that, there must be a school of them out there. Oh, there was another bite. Oh, he's back on. Crazy. Woo-ho-ho. I might have just found the best spot of the day. Oh, there he is. That's a better one. Oh yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo! That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Yeah. Finally. Definitely the biggest of the day. That is much better, comparably to what we caught all day. Sweet. That's a solid 25, maybe 26 inches. There he goes. I can't believe it. I almost fished all the way out to where the turns are diving for bait. I'm almost cod fishing. I'm out like 100 yards further past the sandbar back there. And that's where we had our only bites, which I'm kind of surprised by because it was deeper water right there by those orange cans. And I gotta say that I feel like if I ever had a vision of what it was like fishing Eastern Long Island, North Jersey, or Rhode Island, Massachusetts back like 80, 100, maybe even like 110 years ago, I feel like it would look somewhat like New Brunswick here. The waters are just crystal clear and pristine. I've barely seen any trash around, and I've got this whole beautiful area to myself. And I think I've only seen like one boat cruising through this channel, and that was like a mile back that way when I started the walk. This is what I live for here. And if you're ever thinking about pulling the trigger and coming up to New Brunswick to fish, or just Canada period, just do it, man. You'll be happy. So let's go back to where those fish were biting, and maybe they've reset and we can get a couple more, and then that's gonna be it for us today. We're gonna head out of here soon. I want to try switching up the color. That looks good. So if you guys check it out, I'm actually rigging the Zoom Super Flukes upside down, but I do that for a reason, because when I'm rigging them on a single J-hook jig head like this, I believe it just gives it more tail action in the water when you rig it upside down. Come on, come on, come on, fish. How could they have all vanished? I just don't get it. Unless maybe there were still some fish here lingering around towards the end of the outgoing, and then now that it's coming in, the fish just went in with the tide. I gotta come back here tomorrow, that's for sure. Oh, there was a bite. There he is. Finally. he is. I'm on him again. Woo! Oh, another one. Oh, he's back. Look at that. This little guy absolutely choked it. That 7-inch bait. There's got to be at least a couple post breed or bigger fish here. Jeez. See ya. Oh man, I'm getting whacked every cast now. That has some good weight to it. This might be a bigger one, like 25, 26 inches. Nice. Yeah, that's a beauty. That is a beauty. Look at that, she choked it. Definitely one of the bigger ones of the day. Top 2 or first place. Gorgeous. Where are the big boys at? Or the big girls, I should say. Oh, another bite. Oh my God, they're whacking the crap out of this thing. Jeez. This might be a little bigger. Oh man, that was a hard bite. Oh, another good bite. Oh, he came off. Oh, and he's back on. Oh, woo, that was cool. I think the bigger one was following it in. And then he crushed it right under the surface there. This might be the biggest of the day right here. Oh yeah. That's definitely the biggest of the day right there. And look how she got hooked. The line got wrapped around her upper lip. Where you going, buddy? He's lost. There he goes. All right, well, that is going to be a wrap for our first day here in beautiful New Brunswick. And I would say that we probably caught like 20 or 30 more dinky stripers in this last spot. But we probably caught 2 to 4 of our largest fish of the day, which is cool. And I probably will come back here tomorrow, but just try it during a different time and a different tide. And the one good thing is that there's so many fish here that's telling me that they're here for a reason. There must be a bunch of bait flushing in and out. So that's gonna attract some larger fish eventually. And I bet you if we stayed till sunset and into dark, that would ideally be probably the best time. But sunset's at like 9:20, 9:30, and it's gonna be like a 40-minute walk back. So if we waited until then, there's not gonna be a chance in hell that we're gonna be able to make it to a restaurant before they close or stop serving. And that's what's important, because I put in a long day, and I am starving right now, and I have no food back in my Airbnb where I'm staying. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button and then hit the subscribe button. I can't even talk right now. I'm mixing them up. And I hope to see you all in the next episode. And like always, live to fish, fish to live.